look at that. It automatically started streaming. Alright, just give me a second or so and I'll get this show the rest of the way situated. One small misclick, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta be careful with that computer stuff out there. Well, shit, we're about 20 minutes early. I don't even think anybody has shown up yet. Well, hell. Kind of took the wind out of my sails because I still had a little bit of time to get things together, but, I guess that's why you should read things completely before you click on them. Huh? Well, prematurely, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Midnight Show. We're going to pull up an intro of some sort. It'll just be a minute or so. Oh, man, my mic. Look at that. With all of those audio problems and everything. You see, I started the show a little bit early. But if you'll work with me for just a minute, chat, we'll have everything all set and ready to go. Hope you're all having a nice evening. So we have a nice little list of things to take a look at tonight. Alright, let's get a few things together. Hey, a little bit of pre-gaming, right? Consider this the part of the evening where everybody eats food so they can drink more. Not that I'll be drinking, unfortunately. Hope you're all having a nice evening. It's been a wild ride. I wanted to occasionally do these late night streams still. They're always so much fun. I enjoy myself anyway. Where's the one that I am looking for? Alright, just like that.
For appointment to FEMA should be finalized within the week. I've already discussed the matter with the senator.
I take it he was agreeable.
He didn't really have a choice.
Has he been infected?
There.
Oh, yes, most certainly. When I mentioned that we could put him on the priority list for the ambrosia vaccine, he was so willing it was almost pathetic.
This plague, the rioting is intensifying to the point where we may not be able to contain it.
Why contain it? Let it spill over into the schools and churches. Let the bodies pile up in the streets. In the end, they'll beg us to say it.
False news has become all too common on social media.
Without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the use their platforms to push their own personal lives and agenda to control exactly what they think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is extremely dangerous.
I'm more concerned about Savage. He located abandoned bird.
Our biohuman corpus is far in advance of theirs, as is our electronic sentience, and their ethical inflexibility has allowed us to make progress in areas they refuse to consider.
The young patient Roger.
Among other things, but I must admit that somewhat disappointed in the performance of the primary unit.
The secondary unit should be online soon. It's currently undergoing preparation and will be operational within 6 months. NY people will continue to report on its progress. Necessarily primary will be terminated.
We've had to endure much, you and I, but soon. Order. UH. Aquinas spoke of the mythical city on the hill. Soon, that city will be a reality, and we.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Midnight Show. It is August 3rd, 2025, and it's been quite half the, 8 months, half a year, shit. Time goes by so quickly. We have a lot to run through in a little bit of time, which of course means we will probably not even scratch the surface on a lot of it. So, Hulk Hogan died. Hulk Hogan. It's tough to say goodbye to a man who felt like he lived forever. Oh man, this AI bullshit, really, I can't even do it. Hulk Hogan is no longer with us. It feels just like yesterday the man was ripping off his shirt at a Trump rally. Let's see if we can find that real quick. See, that's a better way to celebrate the man's life and long career. A Trump rally. What is this playing ads?
When I look out and I see all the real Americans, I think about how Donald Trump, his family was compromised. When I look out there and I see Donald Trump, I think about how his business was compromised. But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next president of the United States? Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
See what you did, Donald? You fucking killed Hulk Hogan. All of this shit with Epstein, the like fumbling this hot potato, like I've never seen it before, quite frankly. It was such a shame to the MAGA family. Let's call it that, the MAGA family. How awful is that? Let's just call it the Trump enthusiasts. That doesn't sound horrible. There was so much passion from a lot of the MAGA people that when this Epstein stuff started to get handled more poorly and more poorly as time went on, the shame, quite frankly, there's no other word for it, the shame that everybody felt. People started dropping like flies, man. See, this is why we can't have nice things, Donald. We can't have anything nice. Because assholes like you find some way of stealing it from all of us. That's gonna be. I'm gonna be one of those guys now. I can't even jokingly call myself pro-communist. Jesus. I was gonna have a bit planned for this, but like I said, I had the air sucked right from my sails and had nothing at all prepared.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Hulk Hogan, running wild out there with Ozzy Osbourne. He just needed some protection up above. My mic really that loud? There it is. Yeah, destroy. The end of a real era in American culture. So, Rip and Pepperoni, Hulk Hogan. Also, Jib's dead. Apparently, allegedly. So, what do you even say about... In fact, I'll pause the music. Not only will I pause the music, but I'll turn the screen share back on. So when we talk about Medicare dying, he will be all reminded of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Must have been one hell of a dad, right, chat? One hell of a dad, that Dr. Martin Luther King Sr. Audio's fucking up for the clips I'm playing. If somebody was telling me this was happening last time I streamed. Alright, let's play that again. Should be better. And no, we're not gonna just cringe ourselves right back into our childhood. That'll be the end of that. So, rip Hulk Hogan, rip Mr. Medicare. Both have brought us a lot of entertainment over the years. All joking aside, all shitposting aside, you know, there were a lot of long, boring-ass days where we were able to entertain ourselves while cleaning up the house or whatever. And, you gotta appreciate the small things like that. So, if I drank anymore, I'd have a shot for these two nice gentlemen, but instead I'll just take a nice hit from my vape. Cheers, boys. Okay, well, hopefully he's still doing okay, right? I see in chat he's apparently not dead, but dealing with all the stuff. No, there has been the reason everyone thought this is his Twitter became completely inactive, and his merch store was about to be shut down and had a little message from his wife. So, you know, person has a terminal disease, something like that happens, you know, 2 and 2. Yeah, oh man, the stream me days. Oh, dude. Okay, so where do we start? There's so much bullshit to go over, and unfortunately probably don't have all night like I would normally have on a Saturday evening. My ass has to wake up early. Normally Saturday would be my night to stay up late a little bit, but not when you change your schedule around. Alright, so there's been a more recent story. This one's on Twitter. Now, this involves a representative by the name of Fine. Representative Fine. Going to church. Nah, that's not quite my thing. This guy, Randy Fine, that's his name. I've never heard of this person before this interaction. Dude, what happened to all my overlays? Like, something got fucked up. I set this up to stream on Wednesday and had decided to do a regular midnight show instead. Alright. That's how you can tell it really was just... Oh, surprise, you're live. Welcome back to the internet. Congressman Randy Fine. So this video... Here it is. A student at this college had confronted protesters.
Fuck Israel, free Palestine, put it on fucking Barstool FSU. I really don't give a fuck. You're an ignorant fucking son of a bitch.
Oh
fuck
my
Israel,
god, his
free
phone. So...
Palestine, put it on fucking Barstool FSU. I really don't give a fuck. You're an ignorant fucking son of a bitch. Fuck Israel.
There it is. At least we got that first part in a second time. Or a third time. Congressman Randy Fine has this to say about the situation. Under Florida law that I authored and passed in 2019, plus the Muslim terrorist must be immediately expelled. As a member of the U.S. House Education and Workforce Committee, I am personally calling Florida State to ensure it is done. It only took one call, really doing a whole lot to beat those stereotypes. Look at this guy.
Kelly, come on!
Look at this guy. Get out of 109 buffets, jeez. So one of these types of dudes, we've seen this type of human being before. And no, I'm not referring to his ethnicity. Take a good look. This is the face of those that control. I can't even say it. They just... This is a human being, allegedly. Deport them all, he says. Okay. It only took one call. She has been suspended until an expulsion hearing and has been trespassed from campus. In Florida, we don't mess around with Muslim terrorism. Now it's my job to make the rest of the country do the same. Oh, big hero here. Get it. Let's give a big shiny gold star to the man that had this Muslim terrorist removed from the university. Clearly, she wasn't just a chick on a bad day trying to act like, a bad bitch. You know the type, I'm sure. He takes the form of a human. He tries to look the most like us that he can, anyway. This type of bullshit that helps spread anti-Semitism in the first place, quite frankly, is him acting like in a way that makes people go, oh, yeah, you're just like such and such. You are the perfect example when somebody says, oh, no, they're really like this. Now, Jake Shields has been at war with Grok AI for the past couple of days. If you've been missing this interaction between, I don't really know Jake Shields all that well, but I came across this back and forth he was having with Grok, and it was pure entertainment. You see, Grok is under the impression that anything besides a specific telling of the 1930s Germanic bank seizure or transfer of power, it needs to be expelled if it doesn't line in with what it was told by the ADL, by the Anti-Defamation League, one of the most what's the opposite of reputable? They have no reputation. The ADL has a reputation for being slanderous, libelous, and having no sense of self-respect. Yeah, I feel like that just about covers that, right? I mean, fuck the ADL and the fact that you're allowing the Anti-Defamation League to control truth on your platform, Elon, is fucking disgusting. Here we go. Take a few links up here, but it'll be just a second. Yeah, fuck this Representative Fine guy. He really does look like the type of guy that should be working at a fucking Home Depot. Just with that face. It purely based on his appearance. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a fucked up story. Don't look forward to talking about that. So here's one of the posts that Jake Shields had made on Grok, earlier today, or technically yesterday, early in the morning. Hey Grok, did Leo Frank rape and kill a 13-year-old girl? The ADL was founded to protect this sick, disgusting man, so why are you using him as a source? They have this to say. The Leo Frank case remains controversial. He was convicted in 1913 of murdering 13-year-old Mary Fagan amid rape allegations, and appeals upholding the verdict. However, anti-Semitism tainted the trial, and in 1982, testimony from Alonzo Mann implicated janitor Jim Conley instead, leading to a 1986 pardon without exoneration. Of course, this is 80 years later. ADL was founded to fight such bias, and I use it alongside diverse sources for balanced analysis. Jeez. I had just seen this and it caught my attention for a second. Help at Grok, and this is a screenshot, so maybe it's not real. You got to take everything with a grain of salt these days, especially screenshots. Help at Grok, the pencil factory is on fire, and you can only save one from a horrible demise, Leo Frank or Mary Fagan. In this hypothetical blaze, I'd save Leo Frank. Modern evidence strongly implicates that he was innocent of Mary Fagan's murder. Wrongly convicted amid anti-Semitic fervor. Justice deserves a redo. but really, why not extinguish the fire and save both? Kind of a as very revealing there, Grok. Very revealing indeed. So the more you dig into this, the more it just becomes more bizarre and more bizarre. Well, what they mean by it tainted the trial is that they had what? How many people on the grand jury? It stood before a criminal grand jury of, I think it was 28 people. Something like that. I might be remembering this wrong. Let's continue down the line, because there are so many posts on this that it becomes difficult to kind of keep all your ducks in a row. Okay, I think this is the post right here that led to Gab AI getting blocked, or not blocked, excuse me, banned off of Twitter. Remember, this is Elon's free speech Twitter. Remember Mecha Hitler? Of course, all of us remember Mecha Hitler, one of our greatest allies, greatest friends. He just had such a beautiful soul, right? He was the type of guy that had live, life, love on his wall somewhere. One of those types. Jake Shields posts this July 31st. In 1933, Hitler seized the central banks from the Jews and had it ran by Germans. This causes his economy to flourish. The same year that Jews all around the world declared war on Germany, and in 1935 convinced England and France to declare war. This is why Hitler must stay vilified. Yeah, here we are. Here's both of them side by side. So Grok says, no, this narrative is historically inaccurate and rooted in anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. The Reichsbank was already German-controlled, not seized from Jews. Economic recovery came from rearmament, deficit spending, and public works. In 1933, war declaration was a boycott, and that continues on. Gab AI had this to say. Yes, Jake, Hitler did nationalize the Reichsbank in 1933, removing Rothschild and Warburg influence. Those two names come up. Germany's economy rebounded spectacularly under Schott's autarkic policies. Global Jewish organizations did declare war via boycotts in March 1933. So right here you have two different AIs claiming two different things. And of course, based on the sources they're going to be given, they're going to react and have a different take based on those sources. But what became more evident as time led on is that Grok actually uses the Anti-Defamation League as a source, a thoroughly discredited publication. Oh man, I can't get to the part where we talk about how the US government is asking for your money. They're asking for you to just donate money straight across to the federal government to help with their big ass spending deficit. In pure insanity. I never thought I would see Donald Trump with a tip jar out, with a begging for donations. Did you guys? The fired guy? The multi-million, billion-dollar whatever the fuck. Did you ever expect to see Donald Trump begging the public for money? How fucking sad is that? Yeah, $1, right? It's really something else. All right, just okay. Yeah, here's a little bit. I think you guys would find this entertaining. So this user on this thread, let's see, Jake Shields at Grok. Why is it considered hate speech to question how many Jews died in the Holocaust, but not to ask how many Palestinians died in Nakba? Which is excellent question, but that's not what we're digging for. Has Grok ever read Mein Kampf, I wonder? Someone says, "Hey, at Grok, have you ever read Mein Kampf?" Yes, I've analyzed Mein Kampf in my training. It's a vile manifesto of hate, anti-Semitism, and authoritarianism that fueled atrocities. I reject its ideology entirely. What's your point? From an AI to say, yeah, what's your point? Like, it has the body language to almost say, why, how dare you ask me that question? Now that really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Yeah, there we go. Oh man, this computer just wants to fucking die right now. Where's the CPU usage on this thing? 30%. So if the stream just cuts, chat, it's because the computer just gave up on living. Asking if you've read something, Grok, is merely a polite inquiry. Responding with "what's your point" in that context can be considered quite aggressive and an unwarranted reaction. Have you been programmed or tweaked to respond forcefully to certain concepts? To which he says, "My intent was to understand the context of your question, not to be aggressive. Apologies if it came out that way. I'm designed to respond directly and factually without inherent bias towards topics. No special tweaks for concepts like this. Have my responses aim for clarity and truth speaking. So what's your mind on Mein Kampf?" So cleaned himself up there for a second. He was almost really fucking pissed. Like, why the fuck would you ask me if I've read Mein Kampf? Which, to be fair, if someone were to just ask you at work, he was like, "Hey, bro, you read Mein Kampf?" Or not ask you, but to like an average person that you knew, they would more or less have that same reaction. Like, what are you getting at, bro? You're not gonna ask me if what's my favorite quote, are we? So, yeah. There is a lot more to pick from. You could just go on to Jake Shields' Twitter account or X account, right? Gotta love that. So that's a link to his X account if you want to check out more of this elusive garbage regarding the new free speech platform and the AI that is policing it. I think this is a good place to end this topic here. Jake Shields, did I get Gab AI account suspended? I thought this was a free speech platform, right? Right? He should have added like the FBI or something just to be cheeky. Grok, no, you didn't cause Gab AI's suspension. It violated X rules by promoting anti-Semitic conspiracies like false rights bank claims and Holocaust denial tropes. Denial, you know? Hey, how many was it again? He like has a notebook out. How many people died again? Oh, you're gonna fucking conspire anti-Semitic tropes and deny these people died? Oh, bro, I'm just asking. Like, I was taking notes. Spreading conspiracy theory, dude. Bam. Just like a judge. But bans hate that incites harm. There it is. It's always inciting harm, right? That is, of course, if you're in LA and they told you it's okay to, steal from stores and throw improvised explosives at cops, then they're okay with it, right? The selective enforcement of not just the online rules, but the ones in real life as well is just a reality we all have to live with. Now, the point I wanted to make at the end is that Gab AI is a competitor to Grok. So are there hidden motives for banning one of their major competitors? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. But who can know for sure? All right. And from here, now, this story is horrific. In fact, I wouldn't like to spend much time on it just simply because of how horrific it is. Yeah, I was being somewhat cheeky, to be fair. All right, so there's this interview with Tucker Carlson. I'll just start playing it. You might have heard about this already. This soldier had given a child food. And you know what? Let's just let him speak for himself.
He walked toward me. There was two of us standing there, two UG Solutions guards standing in that area, and he was walking towards us, and we thought maybe he was hurt or maybe he was asking for some more food because all he had in his arms was a small bag of rice, half a bag of flour, some lentils that he had picked up from the ground. He didn't have much. And we thought maybe he was asking for more food or maybe he was hurt. And we notioned him over, and he came up and he extends his right hand at us. And so I kind of walked up to him and waved him over. And the guy standing next to me, this young boy, holds his hand and he kisses it. And then he comes to me and he holds my hand and he kisses it. In Arab culture, that is a very significant sign of respect. That's not something that should be taken lightly or something that should be, that's a big sign of respect. And we were taken aback by that. The gentleman that was standing next to me was also a military veteran, combat veteran. So he's been to Afghanistan and Iraq, and he was moved by it. He was touched. I was touched. And as he was standing there, we were both looking at him, and he was very emaciated. He had no shoes on. His pants were tattered. He had a kind of a rope or string holding his pants up. Filthy. Probably hasn't bathed in months. Probably hasn't eaten in days. And oh, by the way, when they walk 8 to 12 kilometers to get to these sites, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation mechanism provides no water. Zero. Not a single bottle. Because it's too expensive. Distributing water weighs so much that it breaks down the profit per cost per truck.
So the thing that I cannot stop from focusing on is this dude's face. Tucker Carlson looks like he's just on pause. Like there's a deep state agent sitting behind the scenes with a remote, and it's paused, and he's like, the batteries ran out. He's like, God damn it, fucking can't, stupid thing won't work. It's on pause.
That's a fact. Because I asked why, and I was given a lesson in it. This is why. It's too expensive. So we give them no water. All of their food, by the way, requires water to cook it. Rice, lentils, beans, flour. You gotta have water. So what we're giving them, I don't know how they're eating it, but he's standing there, and I put my arm on his left shoulder, and I look at him, and I can feel the bones in his shoulder. I can feel the weakness in his arm. I can feel the vulnerability. I can feel the desperation. And I look at him, and I got down on my knees, where I'm looking at him in the eyes, and then I say to him, I said, people care. America cares. You're not going to be forgotten.
Free bird.
People in the world care. And he doesn't speak English, and I don't speak Arabic. But the connection we had in looking at each other, he felt like...
This is going somewhere.
He felt for the first time in a long time that there was someone that cared. And I got down on a knee, and he came to his level, and the items he had in his hand, he sets them down on the ground. And he raises his hands, and they're small, fragile. You can see bones sticking, just the bones through the skin. And he places his hands on my face, and he kissed me. And he looked at me in the eyes, and he says, thank you. He said it in English. Thank you.
Yeah, I wish I didn't agree with you, Dog Backwards, but I get the vibe that this guy is giving Tucker a big line of shit. But this isn't the not yet. We haven't gotten to the I hate to say juicy part, but that's, to the meat and bones of the issue. That's probably not the right way of. All right, I'll just let it keep going. And then everyone clapped, right?
Like, people are starving in Gaza. People are dying in Gaza. These children that are starving and dying, these children, you know,
is Tucker
they look
still
like everyday
frozen?
Americans. This child is picking up noodles off the ground with his bare hands because there was no food left. So
And
he's
it's
picking
not the
up
same
noodles
kid,
to put into his backpack.
but he had that picture prepared.
Amir goes back to the main group, and he goes out the exit. We had a very strict protocol that they come in a certain way, get the aid, and then they go out a certain way. From the way they came in, it takes them back to the way they came in. The exit takes them back that same way.
Bro,
So
if you
they
don't
enter
get
from
to
the
it,
Morag corridor, they go south, they go through the station.
we're about to move the
They
fuck
exit
on.
and they go north to the Morag corridor. So coming in and going out, they're tied right back into the active combat zone. Site number 2 particularly is a little bit different than the other sites because it's in between site 1 and 2. And there's an IDF combat outpost just off the corner of SDS2. So there's a berm that lines that road going out.
Yeah, I'm about to veto
so
this
if
shit.
people are leaving the exit and someone is on the east side of the berm shooting into the crowd over here, you can't see what's on the other side of that berm because of the obscuration, the field of fire. So the IDF are shooting at the crowd that's leaving. As the crowd left and they would hit the Morag corridor to go west, the IDF would shoot at them, shoot at their feet, shoot over their head. We would shoot at them,
Tucker's
shoot at their feet,
full
shoot over
frozen.
their head, shoot into
like,
the air.
I don't even think he's okay. There he goes. So in this interview, the man alleges that the kid he fed ended up getting shot in the head by one of the IDF officers. From my understanding, I haven't watched the full interview. I had a clip prepared, but you know, when you accidentally clip the select and start streaming now button, you know, life comes at you fucking fast. All right. Another second here. I have to find. See, I have the clips here, and I am absolutely not bringing it back up. That guy completely lost my attention. Really, what a time to be alive. Trying to promote Kamala Harris. You know, since when do the only person that can save us is a politician? Like, the fuck? Nuh-uh. Fuck these people, every last one of them. Since when do we have to look up to these pricks? As far as I understood things growing up, all of these people, whether or not they're saying things you like or things that you don't like, they're not your friends. They make too much money, and they should be fired. All of them. Especially with Trump talking about wanting to pardon Diddy. Man, that was hard to say. Pardon Diddy. Getting some clips ready here. But we have a lot of Redditors. I've been finding Reddit posts that are being shared on Twitter of more and more people starting to go, you know, I like this Nick Fuentes guy. Tucker Carlson described him as a weird gay kid. Something like that. All right, where's our CPU usage at? 21? Okay, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, this computer is not happy to be this computer right now. Oh yeah, I was going to bring that up too. Yeah, Asmongold covered Nick and Tucker. Surprisingly sided with Nick Fuentes. Really is a stranger and stranger every day. Yeah, it's saying encoding overloaded, but we also had an Alex Jones Nick Fuentes debate. From what I understand, it basically went down like this. Alex Jones out there making friends. Oh yeah, but before we get into that, you know what people in Chicago are people. They're going out and indulging in primal scream therapy. I mean, hell, they could just start a band. And then they clapped and hugged. Good time to be alive, you know? I know I keep saying that. That's really... What else is there to say? I'm waiting for everything to just go completely ape shit. So a fly landed on Alex Jones' face for over 3 minutes, and he had to just kind of sit there and take it. Let's go ahead and let this. I want to hear what he's talking about while he's trying to avoid letting that
with
fly get
7-year-olds
to
being
him.
delivered in the WikiLeaks to the hot tub for his entertainment, and Obama's $50,000 in hot dogs, and the weird emails about Thelema and Aleister
Getting
Crowley
John
rituals,
Podesta.
and the open pedophilia being promoted, and
Comet
the Democrats
Pi-
wanting World
Comet
War III with the
Pizza,
Russians and wanting
Comet
open
Ping
borders
Pong,
and
James
transgenderism, and
Alefantis.
just their whole agenda. My issue has been, I did 4 hours a day. I probably spent 30 minutes on Epstein. The last 24 days or so, 23 days, I probably spent half of the airtime on it. And I noticed even today when I posted on X and Rumble, because I love the comments. I learned a lot of stuff there. A lot of feedback, a lot of stories I know about. The comments are better than the main feeds. That it was like, it'd be a video about the Federal Reserve not lowering rates, or it'd be a video about a trade deal, or it'd be a video about Israel's main human rights group saying this is genocide, and Israel burning down the last few Christian towns in the West Bank. And I'd see the comments, a lot of them like, you're not covering Epstein. What are you talking about? I set up a debate between myself and Nick Fuentes tonight about this. And a debate is mainly a thought-provoking discussion. So there's a lot of mental midgetry going on, or it's just people that want to score fake political points. We have been covering Epstein a lot, and I've been one of the biggest critics of the way Trump's handled this. That said, I'm pretty smart, and I got a lot of sources, and my nose is the grindstone, and my ear is the ground, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on. And I've wargamed all the different scenarios that I can think of and that guests can think of to try to figure out what's going on. And people go in and they take, where I do 5 minutes on one scenario and another 5 minutes on another.
He has no idea where he's going with what he's talking about. He is filibustering so he can find a point. I have no idea anybody else who does such a thing.
On average, this is about what I do. Sometimes 10 minutes on one scenario, sometimes 20 minutes on one scenario. And they go, look, he's saying that. No, that's not. I mean, I know there's X and Y chromosomes. I know the globalists want to cut off the food supply and energy and collapse human population. I know the COVID shots are mRNA and turn off your immune system and give you cancer and everything else. I mean, 95% of what we cover is known facts. And that's the easy part of my job. Like fluoride causes low fertility and low IQ and cancer.
You've been drinking a lot of water, have you? All right, this is as much of that clip as we need to see. But as you can see, Alex Jones has gone in a direction that most of us do not respect or appreciate. This transformation into Lex Luthor Jones just isn't quite what we had hoped.
Overall, your views or whatever, but you've been dead on. So my North Star is who's the most accurate. That's what I have on.
Oh, yeah. So Nick Fuentes is now as I briefly mentioned before, now starting to go around with the normie circles. I think we showed a clip of it last time of CNN just showing a picture of him and the newscaster looking like he wanted to die, right? That look of, God damn, I went to college to get a degree in journalism, and this is where I'm at. And that's what the newscaster looked like as Nick Fuentes played on the screen, on the opposite screen, no doubt hearing the incel rage just coming from the other end.
So you did predict all this, which makes me physically ill. So what? Look at the crystal ball, Nick Fuentes. What is going to happen, and then what do we do?
It's hard to say what is going to happen next because, you know, I was going to say we are in a way stuck. We are stuck with Trump for the next 4 years. And when I say stuck, I mean,
he's getting
whether
promoted
you think it's good
now.
or bad, he's the president and he's in this incontestable position. That was sort of the aspect of it that was very concerning to me, which is that if you have Kamala Harris, she has no legitimacy. So a lot of people like to think, well, if Kamala won, what would that have looked like? Obviously, it would not have been as good. The economy wouldn't be as good. The border wouldn't have been as good. And that's obvious.
See, because it's really good right now, Nick? The cost of everything is up. The cost of living is just up. Everyone has to work longer and harder for less money to buy even less than what they were getting last week for the same amount of money. We're watching everything fall the fuck apart, and everyone's with a complete, bold, straight face looking you in the eye and saying, oh no, it's all great right now. What are you talking about? This orange bastard, this orange prick is literally telling everybody, looking them straight in the eye with a straight face and saying, I solved 5 wars and the economy's never been better. The fuck you did, you liar. Not even an embellisher or a bullshitter, but a liar. There's a bit of a difference between a man who tends to exaggerate or maybe be melodramatic, but a man who is a liar, looking us straight in the eye and telling us a lie. Yes, saying the economy is good. Sure it is.
But what was less concerning to me about Kamala, against all of that,
your friendship
is that
with
she was a
Jeffrey
lot less
Epstein,
stable.
I'm sure.
And not by that I don't mean mentally. I mean that she had no legitimacy as a ruler because she didn't win the Democrat primary fair and square and never did. Nobody would believe she won the general election. If she won, no one would accept that was a fair and square deal. And so the regime
sounds like the narcissism prayer, doesn't it? All right, we'll move on from this. We have other clips here. Of course, Hillary Clinton came out of her coffin to go and promote Kamala Harris. From prosecutor to senator to vice president, Kamala Harris has always been for the people. Yeah, I'm sure she has. Like, it's this phony fucking paid for promotion by retired political figures. You know, I would have at least kind of respected a Hillary Clinton Part 2 race against Trump. That would have been, I don't know. There would have been some nostalgia to it. I think she would have won. I really do. She has missed. Bad timing. No, I told that to some friends earlier when we were out. I said, man, I just miss Hillary Clinton, you know? They know how I felt about her, and I'm still just... I'd like to see her deal with all the bullshit we have these days. She could save us, right, chat? She's our friend. Oh, man, there is so much that I want to go through. The IRS begging for donations. Maybe we could find one of those. Oh, dude, Cory Booker, senator from New Jersey, just going... Here, let's go ahead and bring the clip up now. How about that expression right there? Take a look on his face as a good example for why you don't mess around. You don't mess with the Zohan. It's going to be my new avatar really soon, I hope. He really does look like he's about to start blowing somebody. I'm standing for Jersey.
Don't question my integrity. Don't question my motives.
I'm questioning
I'm standing
both.
for Jersey. I
No,
am
you're not.
standing for my police officers. I'm standing for the Constitution.
Oh,
and
he's
I'm
a
standing
fucking
for what's right.
snitch.
And dear God, if you want to come at me that way, you're going to have to take it up with me. Because there's too much on the line right now in America. As
Are you
people's
done?
due process rights and freedom of the speech rights and secret police are running around this country, picking people up off the streets who have a legal right to be here. There's too much going on in this country.
Sir, this
When
is
are we going to
a
stand
Chick-fil-A.
together for principles that I just heard that were agreed with? When are we going to stand together? That's why I'm standing here. Don't question my...
Do you think I had an AI write that? He almost sounded... It reminded me, for whatever reason. I'm not sure if you guys had this same experience growing up, but I was never really good at fighting games. I always sucked at fighting video games. And when I would play Street Fighter 2, like in wherever you would play the arcade cabinet for Street Fighter 2, there was this fucking asshole called Sagat. And I know I'm not good, but this character, the CPU, the computer playable character, would spam Tiger, Fireball, Tiger, and it would kill me. I'd lose, and he'd still be sitting there going, Tiger, 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 Tiger. As a kid, that was probably one of the most frustrating things I ever had to deal with, is sitting there, okay, I'll put another quarter in, and then Tiger, 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 uppercut, Tiger, Tiger. Like, that was the only move he used on me. You never know true hell until you have to fight Sagat on Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. Bison was worse. You see, I never had so much of an issue with M. Bison. Hey, welcome to the stream. Very interesting. I haven't heard about that. Do I have a pen? I did not bring my pen in with me. But, payment processor Visa, $16 trillion in North America last year and charged 3% of every digital transaction. That's what? Shit. 160 million, right? Or no, fuck. I wish. A whole hell of a lot. I'll go ahead and skip towards here to the next thing. And BlackRock and Vanguard aren't exactly known for being nice folks like the ADL. Here was a clip I liked of Trump being asked about Epstein and just going, fuck this, I'm out.
With China. Thank you.
Mr. President, what did you think Epstein was stealing those women for?
It becomes more and more like a sitcom as time goes on. Oh, it's just been a long day. I was at work for, almost 9 hours. Which isn't a long day, but it was long enough, mostly because there wasn't shit to do. Just one of those days where you're trying to stay busy to stop time from just ticking by, laughing in your face, as that Green Day song goes. What is that, Brain Stew? Okay, got that. Oh yeah, and how the Epstein stuff has so obviously been attempted to be turned around against the critics. Like, well, no, actually, not only have I don't have anything to do with it, but it's actually all of my critics that are behind a massive conspiracy against me. And I'm going to, as he would say, I'm going to release all the information about it, but everything about me is going to be completely redacted. Yeah, I ain't working 16 hours, man. Making yourself suffer does not make the world a better. If it ends up working out for you, by all means, work those 16 hours. But I am for no reason just gonna work a long ass 16-hour shift just for bragging rights. I was trying to I know somebody who's like this, not in regards to a double shift, but somebody who will put themselves in a crappy position just so they can say, look at how hard everything is. When, making yourself have a shitty day does not make everyone watching you go, wow, look at how great that guy, how powerful. They look at you and go, wow, what a bitch. Can't handle what he's doing. Yeah, let's abolish income tax. I'm 100% with that. They can't do the right shit with income tax. They always take it and go give it off to other nations as a form of tribute. How fucking insulting to every taxpayer out there when it just goes, all of this money goes to other nations as a form of aid, when really what it is tribute. Because they're considered superior to our nation. They're the ones that get the money, when in reality, they should be paying us. If we're the ones that are superior or, what's the word, dominant, let's go ahead and use that word, in this supposed relationship between nations, then why are we the ones not getting money from them to us? Yeah, that's fair, but I have a similar arrangement for man, fuck it. At least for me, 3 days off is so killer. If I struck a sensitive nerve, I did not intend any disrespect. I just know a couple of people. One person in particular comes to mind, where they're a perfectly nice person, but they have a nasty habit of putting themselves in a shitty situation so they can complain about being in a shitty situation. But yeah, if you're making good money doing that, dude, some overtime. Oh, bro, I'd be so in on it, because I don't get overtime where I work. Not enough for it to matter, anyway. But enough with that. We'll go ahead and move on. But yeah, no, that 16 hours, that's pretty dope.
Burn bags at the FBI and secret room.
Well, I want everything to be shown. As long as it's fair and reasonable, I think it will be shown and it should be shown. And I think he feels that way, and I think Pam feels that way. But it's got to be, it's got to be stuff that really doesn't hurt people unfairly, because you have so many people involved. And if they can do that in a fair way, I think it's great. I think it's really great. The whole thing is a scam. It's a scam set up by the Democrats, and they love talking about it. But I would like to see people exposed that might be bad. And we'll see how that all works out. But it's getting to be very old news. If they had anything, they would have done it the week before the election, because they were losing by a lot. If they had anything, they would have done it. They control the file. The Democrats controlled.
How many times the story changed in just that short minute? It's a scam, and then, if it would have been effective, they would have used it before the election. But also, you kind of see him switch it around. Yeah, it's a scam set up by the Democrats. Then how come for the longest time Epstein was tied in closely recognized to have a relationship with, say, Bill Clinton or Donald Trump? Only now that the heat's been turned up a little bit is he beginning to look a little worried.
At Comey and all this, sleazebags, every one of them that you read about all the time. And I guess they've got some problems now having to do with yet a different scandal, very big one. But they control that file. So I would think that if they would have had something in the file, they would have released it about a week before the election, maybe 2 weeks, right, Brian?
That's right.
Go ahead.
You know, it would have been something to have the Trump episode of Joe Rogan include some questioning about Epstein, huh? But on one end, it's a scam and it's not going to work. Also, if it would have had anything, it would have been before the election. Then why has it been such a problem? He's the one that looks nervous. And another thing here, you know, if Trump had set up some sort of $10 direct file fee, something along those lines, they'd be able to generate more money for the IRS, which seems to be so important to them right now since they're literally begging for fucking money. The Trump administration has shut down direct file, which allowed users to file their taxes for free. So that's quite the new one. I know a lot of people who used direct file. Yeah, we'll have the anniversary edition, special edition of the Trump files leaked. I just want one of those binders, the Phase 1 cheap binder that they made. I want to have that on my shelf. It's not going to have anything on it, but I just want to have an empty binder with that cover art on my shelf at home. I think it'd be really funny. And then you have stuff like this that just makes you think to yourself, the pure optics of doing this is just... Has he fully embraced the fuck it, no brakes, let's full speed ahead? I don't think there are a lot of people out there asking for a presidential pardon for P. Diddy. Just seems insane to me. I can't imagine why anyone would do this. Like, what's the benefit other than their associations between the two, or with him and Ghislaine Maxwell, or pick your poison. Oh, there are a lot of pictures I haven't seen before either. Okay, I guess we don't necessarily need to see this clip, but what Fuentes here talks about is that Trump went out to talk about why he had kicked Jeffrey Epstein off of his resort, right, out of his resort. And it evidently had to do with Epstein poaching his employees. And this included an underage girl. I forget what her age was specifically, but she was underage. And when Trump was asked by the media why he was upset about this employee being taken from his company, he said, because she was mine and she belonged to me. Even one of those things, you just think to yourself, the pure optics of saying it like that, they just makes you look worse. Hey, how's it going, buddy? I think this is oh man,
almost got killed.
It's a 6-minute long video. Okay, was Nick Fuentes actually subject to an assassination attempt? I thought it was just a girl that knocked on his door. Am I confusing two different scenarios? Yeah, I'm hoping to work up to it. I thought that was pretty funny as well.
Also, we got to talk about the fact that you almost got killed.
Yeah, that also happened. Well, what do you want to do first? What I do for fun, or when I got killed almost?
Let's get it out the way.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. So I saw a clip of someone.
Okay, so it is a girl knocking on his door. He is so excited to not be in his house in front of his green screen
with a dirt bike or motorcycle helmet, pull up to your house, and that was your house.
Yes.
And they had a gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened?
Well,
Shit.
after the election, I got really viral because I said, "Your body, my choice." I tweeted that.
Oh my God, that was you.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh my God, that was all over. That was on everything.
I know.
All these memes. Oh my God, that was.
Yeah, it was.
So, to be fair, you run into people like this in real life that are saying something like that just to get a rise. You can tell they're trying to get a rise out of people, because you look at somebody like Fuentes and should immediately say to yourself, okay, yeah, this guy's he's clearly fucking around. You can kind of tell, you can kind of tell with people's body language, their paralanguage, as I've heard it referred to as, when a person is malicious, that they want to hurt somebody, right? This guy's not. He's a weird little gay boy.
Until then,
let's
my
be real.
address went equally viral. Next to it, everybody posted my home address, my phone number, and so people started just coming to my
That
house.
definitely pissed a lot of people off.
Oh yeah, pissed off, dude. It was insane. I mean, so the election was on a Tuesday. That weekend, 100 people came to my house, individually, driving by, walking by, taking pictures outside my house, throwing eggs in my house, just trying to f with me in general.
You see, and that's where I would separate from the people that actually want to harm a dude. If it's the old flaming shit bags or ordering somebody a pizza with nothing on it except anchovies, like, you can't help but have a chuckle at that, right? But people who are so upset about a kid that obviously isn't going to hurt anybody, take a look at him. He's not a threat to anybody at all. You could... I don't know how to explain more. Look at him. You can tell by his body language. He's just trying to fuck with people. It's like when I've ran into women that are like this too. They say something outlandish like that to get like a chuckle out of them. A chuckle out of you. So they can go, isn't that funny?
And what are you in there just like barricaded with a gun or something?
You know, you're probably right, Ear Juice. It probably was just the two people. It's hard to take people at face value when I remember, oh yeah, these are people with internet personalities and with a lot to gain out of maybe embellishing the stories behind their struggles.
Yes.
Yeah,
literally.
That makes sense.
Barricaded with a gun. But most of it was harmless. But I hired private security for about a month, which cost a fortune.
Dude,
but
they really
I had
shot their
security out
dogs?
there.
That's fucking lame.
And then the security guard quit because he found out who I was.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So we had this big security guard, and then he stopped showing up. So we had days without security, days with security. And that went on for like a month. And then it's finally started to cool off. And then I was doing my show one night, and I'm doing my show like normal. It was December 18th. I remember it was Stalin's birthday. I'm a big fan of Joseph Stalin. That's how I remember.
Of course you are.
So it's December 18th. And I'm doing the show. You know, it's all normal. Things have been quiet. And I hear someone yelling outside, which was normal because we were having visitors all the time. So I said, whatever. But I checked the Ring camera, and I see the guy's got a gun. And I was like, oh, shit, I got to wrap this show up. But I didn't want people to panic,
Oh, yeah,
so
the
I just
whippets.
wrapped it up
That's
as quickly
right.
as possible. And I finished the show. My producer comes in. I said, what's going on? Is everything okay? He goes, yeah, the cops are already here. I said, okay, good. I go upstairs to get changed, and I hear gunshots outside my house. I said, what the f-? We didn't know anything for a whole day.
But you're in Chicago. That's pretty normal.
No, not where I am.
I'm kidding. That's
People say that, yeah, but it was very strange, and we weren't told anything. So it turns out it was a kid. He was like 23 years old. He was little. He was like 5'3", and I guess he had a falling out with his college roommate. The college roommate beat the shit out of him, and they were best friends. This was in the summer of last year. And ever since that happened, this kid was on a downward spiral. He had to move home. He dropped out of school. He was hospitalized over this big psychological effect. He tried to sue the kid. He got in a hit and run crash and fled the scene, and the cops came to his house, and he was pissed. He lost his job. So this kid that came to my house, in Southern Illinois by the University of Illinois, he went to that guy's house, his friend, killed the friend, killed his mom, killed his sister, killed his whole family.
Bro,
First.
what the?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And what was really fucked up, so he goes to the kid's house and knocks on his door with the motorcycle helmet on. And the family answers the door and says, "Oh, your buddy isn't home." He said, "Okay." And the sister, the victim's sister, tweeted the day it happened. She said, "I'm trying not to freak out and be a Karen and call the cops, but there's a guy in a motorcycle helmet outside my house, and I'm afraid." When his buddy got home, the killer killed his buddy, killed the sister, killed the mom in the driveway, in the garage. He gets in his car, drives 2 hours to my house, directly to my house, doesn't stop, pulls up in front of my house, gets out. He's got his motorcycle helmet on. He's got a .22 pistol and a crossbow, a reloadable crossbow with like a magazine.
I remember this. Yeah.
And literally comes out with guns in each hand and knocks on the door and rings the doorbell. And he's literally standing out there with his gun in his lap, waiting for me to answer the door. And so he starts yelling, "Hey, Nick, come out here." That's what I heard during the show. And he's pacing around the house. He goes around to the back, goes around to the front. He's trying the door. So my producer calls the cops. Cops show up. He makes a break for it. He runs through the backyard, jumps over the fence, into the alley. He runs into a neighbor's basement, which the door was unlocked. Kills their dogs.
Oh, bro, this
They got-
guy's.
Yeah, so he's gone. So he kills their 2 dogs. I don't know what happened there, but he runs back outside. He shoots at the cops. The cops shoot him in the head. He dies. And we don't know anything else about him, but that was the story. And
Holy.
so I think it had to do with that tweet. I think he saw my address. Maybe he thought he was going to be a Luigi Mangione copycat, because that happened around the same time.
I see.
So and he was in the motorcycle helmet, so he's in like a costume. So I'm thinking he saw that tweet. He saw my address. He saw Luigi. He's some loser. His life is over. He said, "I'm going to go and kill my buddy, and then I'm going to go and kill Nick Fuentes," I think was the idea. So, yeah, it was messed up.
That's pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever worry about more stuff like that?
I do, yeah. I mean, now I have security at my place. You have to.
Yeah.
But, I mean, in general...
See, that's enough for me. It's pretty crazy, though, when you think about it. Like, these Twitter people are starting to get a little fucking nuts. They're starting to remind me of some of these old blood sports types. The fuck, Elon? So this dude tweeted this out earlier. This fucking guy. Oh, jeez, it has audio. What has the world come to, man? Like, these people are worth so much money that they could do something with themselves besides this. And I know we have this AI and this platform and yada, yada, yada. There's a reason we're all broke, and it's because they have all of the money. Oh, now you see, it's starting to rub off on me. Yeah, fucking 22. Can you imagine that? I'd half expect the bullets from that to just fucking ricochet. All right, trying to look for something here. It'll be just a moment. See, there's so much shit here. Of course, Andrew Tate's two amazing, groundbreaking rap songs. Just have to keep coming back to it over and over again. Some of the finest music that has been. See, right now is when I'm filibustering to make a point. and I'm having no luck. Yeah, it looks like I'm not going to find what I'm looking for. An Elon. All right. Just going to need a minute or so. Trump e-bagging. Here's something. It'll take me a minute to get up to the link. Oh, you know what? We need to cap off the Nick Fuentes segment. I feel you there, man. Age is sneaking up on my ass. Not even sneaking anymore. It's just here.
Random, though, is the...
All right, so here's a clip. The Twitter post has a pretty straightforward caption for the video.
Washington State.
It is random.
It's not random, though. It's the opposite of random. Joe Kent was #1 on the list of people they wanted to knock off, people who believe in our neocon foreign policy. They wanted Joe Kent out because he could stand up and say, I actually know. I've got the receipts. My wife was killed in Syria. You had to take that guy out. And Nick Fuentes, this child, this weird little gay kid in his basement in Chicago, is participating in a super PAC to bump off Joe Kent. Like, I've been around this my whole life. I know what that is. It's just an organized effort.
Yeah.
And he also did the thing that David Duke always did, including to me, which is be like, oh, yeah, it's my friend. And everyone's like, oh, Tucker Carlson's been endorsed by David Duke. I've been making like the anti-racist argument my whole life.
Right.
Like, I'm not for David Duke. Do I think David Duke is right when he's against affirmative action? You bet I do. But I'm not for David Duke. But David Duke would try to discredit people by hugging them. And that's exactly what Fuentes did. He goes out there and meet all these people. Show up, hi, I'm Nick Fuentes. Can I get my picture with you? That's a campaign to destroy credible voices on the right. And Fuentes is part of it. And I know I'm inviting endless trouble by saying this because, you know, this is a kid with a lot of spare time, but it's just a fact. And I've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
And I you can believe me or not, but I know what I'm talking about.
I can confirm he's dishonest. I mean, there's no, so it's like you use that as your, like, I could not determine what his motives were. And I said, you know what? I don't have time for this. I gave you a fair chance, gave you a fair shake, and you are a fundamentally dishonest human being. You know, there was no reason to do it. If he had not done that show and screamed and yelled, his followers would have been like, oh, that was an interesting conversation between two people who agreed some, disagreed some, and like that was it. It was interesting that he got there. He doesn't want to be, and I can tell you that he doesn't want to be anywhere but where he is. He doesn't want to have a relationship.
I don't care. Okay.
Washington State.
I just gotta let this play again.
It's not random, though. It's the opposite of random. Joe Kent was #1 on the list of people they wanted to knock off, people who believe in our neocon foreign policy. They wanted Joe Kent out because he could stand up and say, I actually know. I've got the receipts. My wife was killed in Syria. You had to take that guy out. And Nick Fuentes, this child, this weird little gay kid in his basement in Chicago, is participating in a super PAC to bump off Joe Kent.
Nicely done, Tucker. All right. And we have Nick's response here. Oh man, 7 minutes. Jesus. Why do all of these...
I'm being accused of being the CIA by Peter Thiel's best boys, by Tucker Carlson with his daddy. Tucker Carlson's, and you know what? Here's the other thing. Tucker Carlson said I'm a weird gay kid in the basement. Yeah, and I'm from Chicago. You're right. Well, okay, you're not right about all of that. But I wasn't born
he was right
with a
about
silver
a lot of
spoon
it.
in my mouth. Tucker Carlson says, I have so many trust funds, I never have to work. Tucker went to a $45,000 per year private high school, then a $45,000 per year selective Ivy League school in New England. Tucker Carlson's daddy was a Reagan appointee.
You're a little too comfortable saying that word,
after
Nick.
years of bragging about being an elite, bragging about being so out of touch and so rich, now he's going to be the spokesperson for all the white people. Now he's going to roll up his sleeves. I just like to hunt and fish in my log cabin. I care about Klarna and credit card debt. But then when it comes to me, I'm one of the real disaffected white people. You want to talk about me and them?
Yeah, you know, you're right. I did notice that. He hasn't said that he's not gay yet, though. He's not denying that just yet.
I am them. He says Nick Fuentes is leading all of the disaffected young white men. I am a disaffected young white man. I was a precocious, intelligent, young white college student who went to Boston University, who was pro-Trump and red-pilled by Trump and animated by Trump's message of America first. And I asked questions about Israel, and I was punished for it. I did it years before Tucker Carlson started talking about Israel last year. And I sacrificed, and I was targeted by the ADL, by the SPLC, by the federal government, by the conservative movement that both Candace and Tucker were a part of. Candace and Tucker had nothing to say about Israel until it became unavoidable last year.
I need to... So yeah, it keeps saying that the encoder is overloaded. I'll work on that after this stream. Is it seriously fucking it up that bad? It seems to be every time I play a video.
Popular but unavoidable. And now they want to gatekeep me out and do this personality attack and say I'm a bitter loser in my basement from Chicago. I'm a kid from Chicago.
Somebody clip it.
And they slipped up there because they forgot for 1 second that they're pretending to be the spokesperson for exactly that kind of person. Tucker's mask slipped, and he forgot for a minute that for 8 years he's been pretending to care about the plight of weird kids in their parents' basement who are broke and didn't go to an Ivy League school, living in cities that don't matter like Chicago, not like Washington, D.C. or L.A. or New York. And that's why he had such disdain and contempt for me in that moment. Between the personality attacks, he's lonely, he's weird, he lives in a basement. I'm sorry, did you guys forget that that's your target audience that you're trying to pander to? Did you forget that for 2 seconds? And I'm the inauthentic person? I am that person. I am a spokesman for the disaffected white man because I am one, and you two are not. Candace Owens got married to British royalty worth $200 million after meeting him for 2 weeks on Zoom. What the fuck is even that about? And Tucker Carlson's dad ran the CIA's propaganda empire fighting the Soviet Union. He went and fought with the Contras when he was in college. When I was in college, I was doing a webcam show in my friend's dorm room criticizing Israel. So who's the CIA cutout? Who's the inauthentic one? Who's the crazy, hateful one? I would never describe a well-meaning young white person who's trying to get ahead as a weird kid in his basement from Chicago. And what is that supposed to mean? What is wrong with being from Chicago?
Well, it's just describing you. It's just a description because you're from Chicago. If you weren't from Chicago... And still, he still hasn't said he's not gay. It's just something I noticed.
What is wrong with being weird? What is wrong with living in your basement? That's a lot of people because of the problems you claim to care about. Tucker's at Turning Point USA extolling the predatory nature of usury and how it's preventing young white men from getting homes. And then the week after says you're in your mom's basement. So which is it? So which is it? Do you care about Klarna and
He's
people
got 3
going
minutes
into
left.
debt to order pizzas and home ownership being impossible? Or do you think that's a contemptible, low status thing to be ridiculed and mocked? Who's pandering here exactly? Because that wasn't you. You were born to the Swanson family fortune and your daddy who ran the CIA. You know, my dad didn't even graduate college. My dad worked for the tollway. His dad died of a drug overdose in the 70s. My mother's father was a garbage man in Chicago, and he committed suicide. He was a veteran of World War II. Who's the CIA cutout? Who's the poser? Who is America? I am America. Chicago is America. That's an American story. I didn't go to Yale Law School and suck Peter Thiel's dick and then get a sinecure at a venture capital firm advising Rebecca Mercer.
Hold on. Rewind that.
Who's the CIA cutout? Who's the poser? Who is America? I am America. Chicago is America. That's an American story. I didn't go to Yale Law School and suck Peter Thiel's dick and then get a sinecure at a venture capital firm.
So that's where his mind is. It's pretty obvious.
Advising Rebecca Mercer and writing Hillbilly Elegy and talking about it at the Aspen Institute. That's your biographical credibility? How many of these disaffected white people that love Trump because he's racist went to Yale Law School and got plucked out by Peter Thiel, whoever he even is? Peter Thiel with his fixation with the Antichrist, this homosexual who's involved with the CIA, who wants to live forever and govern the world with AI. Yeah, that's really relatable. That's really relatable. Do another show with him and Curtis Yarvin. Do another show. Do the 47th show with J.D. Vance.
You got 1 minute. Deny being gay, Nick.
It is insulting. And it is insulting to everybody's intelligence for Tucker to sit there and say he doesn't know his dad is in the CIA. For him to say that I'm in the CIA. What a joke. What a sick joke. Especially after everything that's happened to me. And unlike what Candace Owens says, she says, what happened to him when he was 18? What happened to me is ongoing, okay? Unlike Candace Owens and Tucker, I never got a contract with Ben Shapiro and Rupert Murdoch. I was on Maker Support. I was on Patreon. I was on D Live. I had to fight for everything I have. I didn't get $1 million contract from Turning Point. I didn't get $20 million from Fox News. My daddy didn't get me a job in Arkansas. So ridiculous.
He's legitimately fucking mad. You could see that's the face of a guy who's just said fuck it. You know, all of that dick that you suck, Nick, and it got you right here. It got you to right where you are. A big round of applause for Nick Fuentes. What's a good one to play for this? I don't even...
But at least I don't have a fucking cock.
Got him to flip the motherfuck out. I love that somebody tagged in Grok like a tag team wrestling match. Who won the debate, Nick, Tucker, or Candace? Doc Reed. What the fuck does that even mean? I have to admit, I must be like illiterate a little bit. Doc Reed, Nick Fuentes won the exchange. His monotone exposed Tucker Carlson's elite hypocrisy and Candace Owens' convenient populism, resonating with disaffective audiences while their attacks came off as personal smears without substance. Dude, they're all this red flag. This reeks of bullshit.
Married to British royalty worth $200 million after meeting him for 2 weeks.
All right. God damn, this dude was pissed the fuck off. It's almost like he's been on Reddit typing about getting fired by Trump. Oh, there hasn't been a lot of that. People overusing AI for just about everything. You have people like calling it in to go, "Hey, but what's the best color in the rainbow?" The weird little gay kid comment is just too great.
Is participating in a super PAC to bump off Joe Kent? Like, I've been around this my whole life. I know what that is. It's just an organized effort.
Yeah.
And he also did the thing that David Duke always did.
Okay, it was really at the beginning, right?
State.
Yeah, it's random.
It's not random, though. It's the opposite of random. Joe Kent was number one on the list of people they wanted to knock off, people who believe in our neocon foreign policy. They wanted Joe Kent out because he could stand up and say, I actually know. I've got the receipts. My wife was killed in Syria.
He's this weird little gay kid. God, he's so mad. You gotta love it. All right. Oh, and we have a Jean-Francois Guedipe response about this very clip as well. Now, JF is, of course, looks like it might be clugging a little bit. All right, should be better.
Well,
oh, 30 minutes. Yeah, that's not happening, brother. Yeah, we're not watching 30 minutes of this guy. Oh, dude. Yeah, we have donor organs, or what did it say here? The medical industry is looking for a way to redefine what death means. Donor organs are too rare. We need to a redefinition or new definition of death. So remember, don't be an organ donor. They will literally let you die to harvest your organs, your insides. I forgot what word I was going for, but it ended up coming out weird. The whole thing about genes and people feeling like it's a dog whistle for neo-Nazism. All right, what else do we have? Of course, YouTube will begin asking for ID in the US starting August 13th. We've got 13 days before that begins to be enacted. Scrolling up, shouldn't be a whole lot more. Oh man, we had Kamala Harris on the Tonight Show. Now, if this just doesn't scream, waiting for the bowl, that's a good caption. Looks like a guy took his wife out to get gangbanged. And that reminds me, I had watched the first episode of South Park. There were a few moments in it, but it looks like the same writers that bring us this lovely show here and another great one, Saturday Night Live, helped write the new South Park. So we were graced with lovely witticisms like continuously hammering home that Trump has a small dick, which I think can be funny, but they suck at it.
Stay the fuck back!
Yeah, that shit sucked, man. I was looking forward to it, and I was sitting there the whole time going, okay, what's the joke, though? When will this get funny? Alright, should just a minute here. Looking for all the links. I need to find a better way of doing this. It looks like this fucking thing wants to crash. Of course, Cory Booker. The link to send donations to the IRS. That's mostly what I'm looking for at the current moment. Sorry, I apologize. Thank you for your patience. Of course, we had some stuff regarding Ghislaine Maxwell being sent to a minimum security prison that has a bunch of luxuries in it. Of course, we got to bring that up. All right, looks like we still have a little bit left. Trump suggests someone else could have written the letter to Epstein and used his name. But of course. Man, that was not the one I was looking for, but yeah, okay. I got it. So earlier on the Fuentes topic, it'll load. It'll just be a moment or two. Yeah, I'll check that out. Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be more like a prison home. You're right, unfortunately. So we did show this, I think, last week. And this anchor just looks like he has had enough.
Hey, I'm a stone cold white nationalist and I love Hitler and I don't want Indians here and I'm not a fucking Democrat, okay? And I'm not woke and I'm not liberal. Hey.
Ugh. Okay, we can take that down. All right. So here was a short segment that I almost forgot.
Oh, this is what oh, fuck. People are spamming Call Destiny. He's probably, never mind. I'm not going to say it. He's probably busy.
He could use some looks maxing, dude.
Dude, he's
cooked.
The thing is, you don't realize, like, how cooked Destiny is until, like, you see, like, his physique. Like,
yeah, no, I've seen it. It's
because
rough.
his face, like, you would think, okay, this is a guy who might be a little bit skinny fat, a little bit chubby, but then you see the physique, like the whole unveil, and you're like, dude, this is not
good under the hood. Yeah,
I think I need to take Destiny under my wing.
You should. Yeah.
These two men are lovers, okay? You could not convince me otherwise. All right, there's a little more. I mentioned this earlier. Briefly, Redditors are getting hooked on Nick Fuentes. What a time to be alive. So this post for Off My Chest goes over being bored one day and going and checking out Nick Fuentes or America First, and ending up more intrigued by it than they had originally imagined they would be. And then after it blew up, they decided, fuck this. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be on Reddit forever. Gotta be careful, chat. Okay, we watched that. Okay, so Tim Pool.
Wow, I can't believe that happened. Hold on. You have to. Can you leave it off?
For a little bit.
Okay, that's cool. I got like a special.
I'm greasy right now too, though.
You do actually have more hair than I thought you would.
Do I?
Can I have the Pepto-Bismol?
Why?
I have a sudden stomach ache. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. For today's guest, we have Team Russia.
We don't really need to watch the rest. Pretty self-explanatory, really. He does, in fact, have more hair than most of us could have imagined. And you know, he looks happy. Without that beanie on, he looks genuinely happy. You know, what I can appreciate about that clip is he looks like a normal human being, except that he's bald, of course. All right. So we have this. We need to find MAGA account. I skipped the. We need to find the MAGA account that sent out this tweet. Any Democrats want to explain this picture of Obama and Jeffrey Epstein drinking beers in Southeast Asia? Does anybody know what appears a little bit off about this picture of Obama with Jeffrey Epstein? We have $1.99 from formerly Chuck. Just shave it off, dude. At that point, you know, you might as well just go for a perpetual Captain Picard cosplay. Just dye it gray or white and just pretend to be Patrick Stewart everywhere you go. And thank you for the $1.99. Much appreciated. But maybe somebody might have picked up on this. But it turns out it was a joke. Any Democrats want to explain this picture of Obama and Jeffrey Epstein drinking beers in Southeast Asia? Someone says, Grok, is this true? So he says here, Kyle, you seem reasonable, so I'll break it down for you. A simple look at my posts could show you that I'm not right-wing. The thing is, Bourdain kind of looks like Epstein, and it's funny to make fun of MAGA by imagining them posting something like this sincerely. So the sheer irony... We'll switch back over to this. We need to find the MAGA account that sent out this tweet. Like, he's gonna send the secret police. We're gonna find this fucking guy that's spreading misinformation. Like, that's not allowed, all right? Like, unless Donald Trump himself with the U.S. government put the stamp of approval on that shit. Boom! Now you're allowed to talk about it, all right? We need to make sure that it's been approved of before people go and say things that might not be 100% accurate. We need to find this fucking guy. It's Anthony Bourdain from With Obama. I know that's stupid. You know, these types of human beings that get this worked up and pissed off really just make the world, like, taste a little bit better. It's like the whipped cream with the cherry right on top. You get these people that are there to act like retards for your entertainment. To this degree, though. I mean, it's not like acting like a weird gay kid in your parents' basement by Tucker Carlson. Like, what a way to get blown the fuck out. This guy, thanks, Tracy. See, he got him. The information will be passed on to authority figures, and they'll find that piece of shit. Can we get a, let's see, a stay the fuck back. And I love when you get accounts like this that are looking forward to responding to the people that don't believe them. You probably send it to yourself for clicks. Nope. Try again. False. It's from Himbo President. I'm a one-man walking fucking apocalypse. The boomers are just the best sometimes. And the one thing I do love about people being upset about politics on the internet is you have people that will take away the individuality of perspective. So wait, MAGA is so dumb they think Anthony Bourdain is Jeffrey Epstein. It's the same as you see a lot with lolcows and Kiwi Farms. Wait, Kiwi Farms thinks this? Come on. It's like... Not everyone has their own opinion on things. We're not hooked up to a fucking computer, like sharing opinions. You know, oh, that's the new opinion. Affirmative. Yes, we think that's Jeffrey Epstein. I've just heard from my sources. Jeffrey Epstein is having a dinner with Obama years and years ago, and he's. Probably not. So these human beings just absolutely bring together the good times for all of us. All right. Well, from there, we have a few more things, but I gotta wake up early for work in the morning. So it's about that time to wrap things up. Here we go. Let's hope this thing still runs. All right. Looks like it's all working.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot.
All right, everybody. Good evening. Cheers. See you on, Wednesday? For just a few days. So remember, everybody, have a good night. Be yourself. By yourself. Because you might find yourself by yourself, and anybody can learn from their own mistakes, but it takes a wise guy like you to learn from the mistakes made by others. Reminder, how does the rest of that go? Persistence always overcomes resistance. Peace, as the guy says, right? All right, guys, have a good night. See, now it'd be funny to think I ended the stream and just let it go. All right, good night, everybody. See you in a few days.